To the people of Lord Brew, I bring you this urgent matter. The Tribal Law and Order Act was passed by the President yesterday. It was presented to the Congress by Stephanie Herseth and Dorgan, Senator Dorgan out of North Dakota. And this act really concerns me. A lot of people are for this act and a lot of people are against it on Indian country. The reason being that it takes the maximum sentencing from 1 year to 3 years in tribal jails. This act was intended to improve transparency in public safety spending by the Bureau of Indian Affairs. It requires greater consultation on the part of the BIA to tribal communities on matters affecting public safety and justice. Increase sexual assault training and standard protocols for handling sexual crimes and interviewing witnesses and handling evidence of domestic and sexual violence in Indian country. And it authorizes deputization of special assistant U.S. attorneys to prosecute reservation crimes in federal court. Rosebud has a U.S. attorney stationed there now, so does Pine Ridge. Pine Ridge has 2. We have none. It authorizes the Drug Enforcement Agency to deputize police officers and to assist in reservation drug busts. It increases the deputization, this is really important, of tribal and state police to enforce federal law. So that means state police can come down here and cross deputization and pick up people with state warrants. And it's going to overall affect the community by getting rid of all the criminals through our tribal court system. We have 2 grants that were given to our tribe that from my understanding, I could be wrong, but I was told 2 grants for a public defender. But supposedly those grants were awarded and a public defender was not hired. Instead, salaries were increased. Well, this says that anyone who's facing more than a year is going to be entitled to a public defender. Supposedly high standards of law training, being an adjunct doctorate, and being able to practice in the highest court of the land, which is federal court. But it doesn't say who's going to oversee that the tribal courts are going to adhere to all this and who we go to make the complaints if the tribal court uses these rules for their own vendetta. Because tribal court can be used as a vehicle of good or a vehicle of bad. And I'm sure that anybody who's experienced this court system knows that there are many cases that do not go to court here. They do not get heard, they do not get investigated, they are just brushed under the table. And a lot of you witnessed a case 10 years ago by the whole community where the ambulance was called, the victim was taken out and put on a stretcher in an ambulance, and evidence bags were hauled out, but because this person that did the crime was related directly to a person on tribal council, that person did not face 1 day in jail, and everything was brushed on the table. I hurt for the victim because even though they're family, and we're all family down here, victims are still victims, even within the families. And it talks about crime against the gang violence. We have juveniles down here, 9 years old and above, who they're putting on the stand. Now, are they going to sentence our 9-year-olds to 3 years in the maximum jail time here? It does say Lord Brew Juvenile Detention Center, but when our juveniles go to jail here, they get shipped off. They don't stay here within the jail system, and they say that's because they don't have enough detention officers here for them. Why do they bring other adult inmates from other jails here and send our inmates out? I have a lot of beef with this. I think there could be a lot of good, but I think it could be used as a tool. And I only see it as the way our court system now operates. Our court system is very influenced on who's in power, who this person's related to. They want your last name when they're in there, how you're related to this person. And why are they so interested in who you're related to? Why shouldn't it be the facts of the case? And where is our public defender? Many of you juveniles, many of you adults have went in there on your own and just pled guilty because you knew no better. You didn't know if you had rights, that you had the right to self-defense, or that you had the right to this, or you had the right to that. And imagine 3 years in county jail, because that's what could happen. Say you're not convicted in the state court, but in a tribal court, and you're sentenced to 3 years. And say the tribal court system decides not to house you. Say they send you to Brew County. You sit 3 years in a Brew County jail cell. They don't have outside daily exercises. You're in there day and night, 24/7. And you have to eat 3 square meals in there. And it's not like federal prison where you get exercise time, recreational time, TV time. There's no TVs in those jails. You get microwave meals, that's it. Prison, they give you classes, they try to make you a better person. And I can see that they might try to enforce this on these tribal courts to adhere to those federal laws, but I don't see how they can. Not when they're going to give them no money to do these additional trainings, additional anything, except maybe ship our people off and bring other people in, because it's all going to be about the big dollar. What can we get out of it as the big dollar? How are we going to get the big dollar? And the big dollar comes when we house other prisoners from other tribes and take our prisoners and send them off. And a lot of you women that have been incarcerated down here know I'm talking the truth. A lot of you young people, I don't care how you vote. I don't care if you vote for Mike, I don't care if you vote for whoever. And Lori Minor and Paul, 2 white people who aren't even, Indians, because we don't have an attorney who is a Native American on this reservation. Get educated. Make yourself attorneys. Know the law. Get involved. But know this for a fact, that if you, the young people, don't change this vote, you will be sitting behind bars. That $20, that good drunk that they give you for your vote is going to be nothing a year down the road from now when you're sitting for 3 years in some county jail and you can't even make calls out to get family member to help you get out because you waived your rights. I'm sorry, but this is the truth. On other reservations, it might be a good act to, it maybe Pine Ridge where the gangs are so bad, but here in tiny little Lower Brule, it's going to be do nothing but be used as a tool for the tribal council's own vendetta and round for retaliation. And that's my personal opinion.